Hey guys, it's Tamara Bennett from Adoornments, Decor, and I am here to paint one of our new designs. It says, "Oh, Christmas tree," you know, kind of like the Christmas tree song, "Oh, Christmas tree." And we're going to be doing it a little different this time. I have actually cut out some three-dimensional elements to put these little trees on here as 3D trees. How cute is this going to be? We're going to paint it up. We're going to add the trees. And then if you want to get one of these blanks mailed to you, you can get it either way. You can get it with or without the 3D trees. The 3D trees add just a little bit to the cost. So if you're interested in those, just grab the link down below. Do you see it as a featured link? I thought I added it on there, but maybe it's not. Let me look. Maybe I have to do it after I'm live. I have no idea. Here it is. Let's see. Oh yeah, I just have to hit a button to make it show.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Cool. New features. I'm learning how to use them. And if you are able to cut out your own blanks, we have a template for this that you can just trace right on your wood. And if you wanted to do your little trees 3D too, you would just have to trace that part of the template on a separate piece of wood and cut it out. And then you could do 3D trees too. Kimberly says, "This is making me hungry for something sweet." Do you guys love the Christmas tree cakes? I do. They have always been one of my brother's favorite things too. So I always think of him when I see them in a store. So we're going to start painting the background of this first, and then we'll do the trees next, and then we'll glue them on, and it's going to be so cute. So the piece that I'm doing today, I cut out on my Thunder Laser. And I was able to cut out the little trees separately. And I cut this a little smaller than the standard door hanger just because that's the size of piece of wood that I had. So this is like a 16-inch round. But I think it's going to be cute. Good morning, Teresa. Tasha says your glasses are cute. These are pear eyewear, and I'm wearing the purple sparkle today. Look how cute they are. I love it. Good morning, Melinda. How is everybody? Where are you watching from? Hey, Linda. And then I'm going to start off by painting the bottom half of this white and the top half red. We're going to do some buffalo plaid, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Melissa's watching from Owensboro, Kentucky. I don't know if I knew you were from Owensboro, Melissa. That's not very far from me at all. Good afternoon, Linda. Are any of you guys going to be at Christy Hawkins' event this week at Big Cedar Lodge? That's where I'm heading. I'm leaving tomorrow, and so we won't be having a Friday Fab 5 this week because I will be at Christy's event. I'm actually going to be teaching a project on wood there. Good morning, Lori. Hi, Kayla. That reminds me, Aaliyah, I need to not forget to put those blanks in my vehicle, probably this afternoon, so that I don't drive off and get halfway to Missouri and realize I left them at home. I need to put them in there today so I don't forget them. Hey, Donna. Hey, Belinda. And hey, Nancy from Arkansas. Donna's at work. Who else is working? Hey, Wanda. So we're just giving this a base coat of white because we're going to do like a little distressing look down below. And then we're going to do red buffalo plaid above this. If you think buffalo plaid is hard to paint, this technique that I'm going to show you, which I've done several times before, so it's not necessarily something new, but it's definitely a really cool skill to know how to do this buffalo plaid. It's one that anybody can do. All you're going to need is some painter's tape and baby wipes.
Linda wants to know when that's going to be in the shop that it's in now.
It is in there now, Linda. You should see the link up there on the screen, so you can just click that and go over. It's available in a 12-inch size or a 20-inch, and it comes with the little 3D trees. You can also just get it regular without the 3D trees if you choose.
Do you sell just the trees?
Just the trees. You know, I don't think we do, but that's something that we could probably offer. I just haven't ever added it to the shop. So I will work on maybe making that a possibility because it wouldn't be that difficult for us to do that. All right, I made sure I had good coverage, and now I'm just taking it on the spots that look a little thin. I'm just adding a little bit more and smoothing out with really long strokes to smooth out those brush strokes. And we're going to let that dry while we paint the other half red. Hey, Priscilla.
On TikTok, she wants to know if you're live on another platform.
Yes, I'm also live over on Facebook at Adoornments Decor. So if you want to go watch on there, there's lots of other people in the chat. There's a lot more commenting going on Facebook than there ever is on TikTok. Hey Rhonda, hi Kim. You just finished cleaning your front porch. I redid my front porch a couple of weeks ago, and it just makes me so happy because it's full of fall decor. So I'm just adding this primary red. It's a Decor Americana matte acrylic paint to the top half. And I'm just using a flat tip brush that's pretty wide to smooth this paint out. So it's almost easier to just kind of go along the line there. Pull real slowly to make sure you get good coverage. If you usually get that little paint ridge, don't start right at the line. Kind of swipe a little bit of it off away from the line and then go up to the line and pull that brush along. And if you need some more, you can go down and pick up that paint that you swiped off, or you can flip your brush over. Whoops, I had a little bit of white paint on there. And just pull it along.
Could you use the sponge for the white?
You could, but because this is half and half, the sponge is going to be difficult to be precise at meeting that line. And so you would just have to be real careful not to make a big mess and get way over the line and stuff. So now that I have that line met, I'm just going to start filling in the rest of it.
What type of wood are you painting on?
This is 1/4 inch thick Revolution plywood. It's a type of plywood underlayment that you can get like at Lowe's. If you're shopping at like Home Depot or Menards, just look for 1/4 inch plywood underlayment. It might not be that brand, but it's kind of the same sort of stuff. And I cut it on my Thunder laser. So to get good coverage on the rest of this, I'm just kind of dipping in the paint, and then I'm doing this little back and forth sort of splishy splash. I don't know what you call it. That's a real technical term there. But I'm just kind of doing this real quick back and forth stroke to fill in the areas that haven't been painted yet. And then when I'm done covering all these areas, I will go back and do long strokes across the entire thing to disguise those little, you know, brush strokes that are a little messier. That just kind of paints it on there faster. Now I'm going to get a little bit more paint and do long, even brush strokes across the entire thing. And I'm just re-wetting your brush. If your brush feels like it's having a hard time, like it's dragging, just re-wet it with a little bit more paint and do long strokes all the way across. That smooths out that odd texture. There we go. Now, if you're worried about that design on the background, look, you can still see it through the paint. So we'll still be able to go in and paint the lettering here in just a bit. We'll still be able to see it through the paint, don't worry. I'm gonna hit it with my little heat gun to dry it. This is linked in my Amazon favorites. If you don't have one, they're awesome. Hey Chelsea, hey Lori. What am I making? This is gonna hang on a door. It's called a door hanger. Do you have a finished product to show what it will look like? Well, I have a photo here on my computer. Can you see that? That's what it'll look like when it's done. I designed them on Procreate first, and then I wondered if I got paint on my boob. And then we cut them out on the laser, and now I'm painting them. You love my signs. Thank you. I've got all kinds of videos on YouTube, so whether you're watching on Facebook or TikTok right now, there are over 100, probably hundreds of videos over on my YouTube channel for free that you can go and watch of me painting different designs that I have. And so no matter what season it is, we've got a door hanger for it, and you can follow right along with the tutorial. So if this is your first door hanger, I would recommend you go over there, you pick which one you want to do, and then you go to our shop and you download the template for it if you're planning on cutting your own wood, or you purchase the wood blank for it, and then you like bookmark that video so that you can go back and watch it when you're ready to paint. Wanda got her first big box of blanks yesterday. That is our subscription. We just mailed out almost 400 of those to our subscribers last week. And so a lot of them have just gotten them in the mail, and they go out quarterly. So each quarter we send them 3 door hanger blanks, and they come with printable instructions and a link to a video that they can watch and follow right along. Yay. Okay, I think this is good and dry. If you're just now tuning in, We're painting the O Christmas tree design, and we're going to be using 3-dimensional little Christmas tree cakes on this design. And we've added this product to the shop, so you can get it with or without the 3D pieces. If you don't want to get the 3D pieces, it's a little cheaper and you can just paint them. It's up to you. All right, so let me think. I think I want to do the buffalo plaid next. So let me just double check that this is completely dry, because you don't want to start your buffalo plaid with your background color being wet, because then your tape won't stick. Lauren says, I'm so excited to see what's in them. Yay! Cynthia, everybody's just trying to keep you from watching me on live, aren't they? They're trying to call you. I feel like everybody always calls me when I'm live too. That's when they decide they want to call me. I'm live this same time every week. For the people that know me, they ought to know. My husband, namely, he always calls me right in the middle of a live.
All right, TikTok wants you to pause to show your nails.
Oh, sure. So yesterday on TikTok Live and Facebook Live, I did my nails, and we did this fun fall design. This is actually 3 different sets. Maisie's Hayride, What the Dill, like dill pickle, Deandra. And then this one's called Pressing Flowers, I think. So they're 3 different sets. And I put them on yesterday on a live. So if you missed it, you can go back and watch it on Facebook. Oh, Pam is loving on her new grandbaby Jack. That is so sweet. That new baby smell is just, it's addictive.
Okay. Here's what it looks like on the phone, and they're complaining they can't see what you're doing.
Can you click the little X to make it go away?
You can click the X to do that, and then you just got comments.
Okay. If you can't see anything down in this section right now on Facebook, there's a little X. Tap the little X and it should make that link go away for you.
And then they can swipe comments to the right.
And you can also take your finger and kind of swipe those comments to the side so that you can see the entire screen.
Bring your camera down just a touch.
Okay.
Because we see the top too much above your head.
Okay. I'm going to try to do this gently without just... How's that? Is that better? You love your big box blanks. Thank you, Anne. Kelly got hers too. She said, and I also got the new member surprise for joining the clubhouse. Yay! I thought I saw a question a second ago, but I might have missed it. Somebody on TikTok said, what are you making? This is a door hanger, and it's going to have the words, Oh, Christmas Tree down here. And it's going to have 3 little Christmas tree cakes up at the top that we're going to paint. But first, we have to do buffalo plaid on the red, and we have to distress the white. Stephen said, I tried all of that, but it's not working. Well, bummer. Wonder if you rotate your phone, does that change anything? Okay, if you rotate your phone, you can see the entire screen, or at least it appears that way. It depends on if you're watching on a phone, an iPad, a laptop, you know, that sort of thing. Let's go ahead and do our buffalo plaid. If all else fails, the replay for this will be on YouTube in just a couple of hours, and you can go back and watch the entire thing on YouTube. That way, when you sit down to paint it, you can see everything that I'm seeing. Okay, the buffalo plaid in this one, I didn't go like perfectly symmetrical. I actually did it at an angle because I thought it would be kind of fun and different. So I'm using painter's tape that's about 1 inch wide. And make sure you use the frog tape. The green frog tape is the best. Tear off just a little piece and use that sort of as your guide marker for how wide you should do the next stripe. So just lay down your tape, pick this piece up, move it over, and then get your next piece. And we're only going to go one direction with this for right now. So we only did 1 coat of red on our background. I think our white might need a second coat. We'll do that later. Whoops, I didn't put that on very straight. We'll do that later just in case we get kind of messy with our buffalo plaid paint. It'll make sure that we can clean it up. Okay, I'm not gonna put that piece there.
For some pictures, Lauren's there.
Lauren's reminding us, take pictures for the blog. We definitely need pictures.
No, Lauren wants pictures of the camera and how you're set up.
Oh, she wants pictures of how I'm set up to go live. It's different almost every time, but it's some variation of this at least. I've had other people ask what my live setup is. It's nothing fancy. It's just a couple of Archon mounts. I've got an overhead ring light and a front-facing ring light. Only because my lighting in this room is not the greatest. I opted for a really cute chandelier. And while it's cute, it does not produce the best light. Which, Aaliyah, one thing that I need to get, which also I'm going to have to ask somebody to install it for me, is I found a fan with a light that operates like a ring light on Amazon.
Cool.
I was like, Michael, I need this in my craft room. Okay. I did not get that on very straight. My little guide piece was starting to not stick anymore. So there we go. All right, we got it all going one direction here. And I'm doing it at a diagonal. And for good measure, what I may do is also put a piece across here. This will kind of ensure that I don't get real messy and get all over the white. So just do that if you need to. All right, get a baby wipe out. This needs to be like just a cheap, these are just Sam's Club baby wipes. It needs to be a fresh one, not one that's like all dried out. Lauren says you do need that light. I also need the fan. It always gets hot in here when I do it live. Okay, and then the next color I'm gonna use is called Deep Burgundy. And this is gonna be the color that we use. Whoops, that definitely needed shaking. This is gonna be the color we use for the darker red. Shake it up real good. Let me put it in a different hole here. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna take our baby wipe, kind of, you know, make like a little point out of it, dip it in your paint, get a generous amount, and then we're just gonna smooth it right over each of these stripes, and I kind of try to keep it going in the same direction as the painter's tape. Whoops, hold on, that tape did not stay down. And you can just keep re-dipping in your paint as you need to. This also works with any other color. So if you're doing, say, black and white buffalo plaid, start with a white background and then add black on top of it. And you can put your black on relatively kind of thin. That way, you know, it looks textured. You can do it with gray. I've also seen it done with like pink and white for like Easter. Just think of all the combinations you could do. Okay, we've got all those areas covered. Now we're just gonna set this, actually I'm gonna throw that away. I'll get a fresh piece for the next one. I'm gonna start by peeling up this piece first because it was the piece that goes across the middle here. And all the other pieces are kind of attached to it. And I'm just gonna tape this to the side of my desk because I can reuse this. And then peel up each extra piece. Some of these I can reuse and some of them I may not be able to. It depends on the length of the piece. You could also use this method just for stripes if you wanted really nice, precise stripes. There we go. Let me hold this up for you. Even just the stripes are really cute. Okay, what we're gonna do, because some of this is a little thick, is dry it, and then we're gonna rotate our painter's tape and go the other direction. Any questions? Somebody said I'm definitely gonna have to try this. Yes, you should. It's really cute. It's very satisfying too. Try it on a pumpkin or something for Halloween, or for fall. I can't tell if it's a trick of the eye or if my painter's tape is a little thinner up here than it was. I don't know. It may just be a trick of the eye. Once we get it all on there, you're not going to notice if you've got one stripe, you know, a little crooked or something like that. Because all the details, and plus putting the snack tree cakes on top of all this, is going to distract from the imperfections in your buffalo plaid.
TikTok is asking, what's the benefit of using the baby wipe?
Okay, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but can you tell that the paint is not perfectly covered? Like there's a little bit of like a texture, like it's thinner in some spots, thicker in some spots. The baby wipe helps the paint to go on smoother, I feel like, quicker. It dries faster, and I like that it leaves that sort of textured look. It doesn't show up as good on red, but if you're doing black on white, certain parts of the black are a little transparent, and it actually makes it almost look like fabric or something, like it looks textured. I've just really loved the effect that I get when I do, when I use the baby wipes. All right, I'm gonna put this back on here.
Do you cut all your wood rounds?
Yes, so I cut them on the my laser machine. I have a Thunder Laser Nova 24. Okay, and then let me find the longest piece, which is probably this one right here, and I'm going to go the opposite direction.
Do the trees come with the blanket?
Yeah, so if you end up purchasing the 3D version of this blank in our shop, it does come with, hold on, I'm trying to concentrate and get this straight. It does come with the 3D little trees, but you can also get it without the 3D pieces if you prefer. Okay, so make sure the paint that you just put on is dry. And then just take the same pieces of painter's tape, if they're still sticky, mine are, and start working on putting them back on, going the opposite direction. And I'm just using, again, I'm starting with the longest pieces here in the middle. And I'm just using that little extra piece of tape as sort of my guide for how wide to put the stripes. See, this piece is a pretty good length.
Are you doing squares or diamonds?
I don't know.
You're not completely perpendicular.
Oh. I guess it doesn't matter. If you want diamonds, you can get diamonds. Maybe I need to turn it. Math was never my strong suit. All right, I'm going to rotate that one and use that one as my guide. So what she was saying is that the effect that I was creating almost a diamond pattern, which you could totally do. But that wasn't necessarily what I was going for. So let me rotate it and see if I can now move the tape. Shoot, it's still not coming out just right. Maybe I need to move this one and quit using my little guide and just eyeball that first. There we go. Now I'm just making sure that the little pieces in between are actually square instead of diamond shape.
All right, there you go. You're better.
Aaliyah is here for attention to detail. She's very good at making sure that my P's and Q's are dotted, or my eyes, you know what I mean. My eyes are dotted, my T's are crossed.
In your opinion, is your current laser better than the Glowforge?
Yes. So I had a Glowforge before I had the Thunder Laser, and it worked just fine. It got the job done. I enjoyed it because it was my very first laser, and it was easy to learn how to use and stuff like that, but it wasn't long before I felt like I had kind of outgrown it. There were certain things that I wanted to be able to do that I couldn't quite do on the Glowforge. And then also the Glowforge was slower, and the Thunder Laser is way faster and more powerful. So there's stuff that I'm able to do quicker and better on the Thunder Laser that I could never do on the Glowforge. And it felt like it just couldn't keep up with me and what I wanted to be able to do.
Cynthia says your tape should be at a 90-degree angle. Which she's
Angles?
right.
What are angles? Nobody knows what angles are.
Straight's a problem here.
I did not do well in geometry, if that doesn't surprise you probably at all. Geometry class in high school, I struggled.
And see, I did. So
You did do well. That's why you're here today. All right. Do you see how each of the little squares between the tape look like squares, not like diamonds? When I first started putting the tape down, they looked like diamonds. So she had to help me out there. All right. Make sure your tape is nice and flat and pressed down because, you know, since we're reusing the tape, sometimes you might have a spot where it's sticking up a little. Get you a fresh baby wipe. Get your same color, your burgundy red, and just start kind of swiping it on, going the opposite direction that we were before. So this is going to create that buffalo plaid look because it's painting the squares in between, but it's also painting a second coat on top of the squares that are already there, which creates that sort of like cross-hatched look. I guess that's I don't know if that's the right word. It creates that checkered look. That's probably the right word. And And if you need to, if you start getting like little fuzzies coming off your baby wipe, fold your baby wipe over and just start with a fresh spot. Nothing wrong with that. And you don't have to put this on real thick. You can put it on nice and thin and you'll still get that nice buffalo plaid look. All right, throw that away. And here's the big reveal. You ready? We're gonna peel all this off. It's very satisfying.
I'll have to move my desk over here.
Just make you a little station right beside me. I'm gonna peel slowly so Aaliyah can get the photo. There we go. And you can peel it up while the paint's still wet too. I should have mentioned that. Look at this, y'all. Doesn't that look beautiful? And if you have any little imperfections on it, like I said, these little trees, these 3D trees that we're gonna do, or the trees that you're gonna paint, if you're just gonna paint your trees, will distract from that because this is gonna be in the background, not the foreground. Why do you use a baby wipe, not a paintbrush? I explained that just a second ago, Karen. Maybe you weren't on here yet, but it does thin out the paint just a little bit. It kind of allows you to create this almost transparent look because like in between these, I can sort of see through to the background color and it creates this, just this different look. And it's quick. I like how quick it is. Somebody on TikTok's watching from San Diego. Welcome. Okay, we're gonna flip this around now. And look, you can still see the laser etched Christmas trees through it. So, you know, even if you don't get the 3D design, you could paint these right through it. Now, if you did use a template for this and you're tracing it on, at this point, you might want to realign your template and retrace your trees on if you can't see them, so that you can move on to the next part. All right, so for down here, I said we need to do a second coat of white, and then we're gonna do distressing to kind of make it look like aged. Thank you. So another link that we have up in the thing for you guys is for an event that we're doing November the 5th. So if you are not very far from Grand Rivers, Kentucky, or if you don't mind road trips, you can come and join us for a full day of Christmas crafting in Grand Rivers, Kentucky. We're going to be doing 5 different crafts throughout the day. We're going to have breakfast and lunch and probably dinner provided. So you can come and join us. We're going to do a tacky Christmas sweater party and an ornament exchange. And we're going to do, like I said, 5 different crafts. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a day of crafting and fellowship and great food. How far are you guys from Grand Rivers? If you're not very far, you should definitely consider coming and joining us. This was going to be an event for our Painters Clubhouse members to mix together and mingle. So there will be a lot of Painters Clubhouse members there. So you'll get to meet those people and kind of get to know what the Painters Clubhouse is like if you're not a Clubhouse member. And who knows, after this event, you may just decide that, you know, you want to join because you really enjoy crafting with me. Okay, I'm just putting a quick second coat on here, so it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just swiping it on there real quick, and then we're going to dry it and add our distressing. So if you're interested in that, go and get your ticket. It's November 5th. It starts at like 8 o'clock in the morning, although you don't have to get there quite that early. The crafting starts at 9, but at 8 we'll have like a vendor booth open and we'll have breakfast and stuff like that. And then we'll end the day by walking through the Festival of Lights behind the Patty's restaurant there in Grand Rivers. I've been through it before and it's beautiful. It's the perfect way to kick off your Christmas season and put you in the holiday spirit. Y'all want to do some Happy Mail? Tell me, what is your favorite Christmas carol song, Christmas song, whatever you call them. What's your favorite Christmas song? We're going to draw a random winner in just a few moments. And our prize today is a really nice one. Let me show you. Artistro has donated these metallic outline markers, and they are dual colored. Each marker has silver or gold and another color, so that when you draw with them, you get this sort of outlined effect. The silver or the gold's in the middle, and there'll be like a tinge of color on the outside edge. They're like a really cool metallic paint marker. So we're going to send this pack to somebody who is a lucky winner in the comments. And actually, the way we did it last week was we drew the winner the next day. So maybe that's the way we should do it this time, because I want a lot of our people on replay to have a chance to win. So just make sure and drop a comment letting me know what your favorite Christmas carol is. And tomorrow at 11 a.m. we will come to the comments and draw a random winner, a random winner, and we will announce it here on Facebook. And if you didn't get if you don't win these, or if you're just like, I need some of these for sure, these are available on Amazon. Whoa, the lights were flickering in here.
I'm sure it had something to do with kids.
That's crazy.
Probably electrocute me.
If you don't, that's so nuts. It's just that light right there too. It's not.
Oh.
No,
yeah.
wait, maybe the ring lights are.
No, the ring lights are okay.
It's just my chandelier flickering. That's so bizarre. Spooky. So if you don't win these and you want to get a set of them, there is a 20% off discount code if you use the code HAPPYMAIL20, all caps, on Amazon. You type it in. So they're normally like $14.99, and that knocks them down a couple of bucks. Anne's favorite is Grandma got run over by a reindeer. Are you a grandma, Anne? I love that. White Christmas.
I want a hippocampus for Christmas.
I want a hippocampus for Christmas. I don't know that one. Totally kidding. Somebody else on TikTok said that song too. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
My favorite.
So anyways, these are awesome. I've already been kind of playing around with them because I wanted to see how they worked, and I really like them. They're cool. I don't know what I would use them for on a door hanger, but I definitely love playing with them and doodling with them. Which, I mean, if you're doing metallic lettering on a door hanger, that could be really cool. Blue Christmas. Okay, this is nearly dry, so I'm going to hit it with a hairdryer for just a second. And we're going to do our distressing. Oh, that's a favorite of mine too, Melissa, rocking around the Christmas tree.
Oh, Miss Pam got the watercolor brushes.
Oh, Miss Pam, what do you think of them?
And she got them free with her Amazon points.
Oh, that light is flickering like crazy. It's so weird. Free with your Amazon points. What are Amazon points? I don't think I have Amazon points. Okay, next thing we're going to do, y'all, is we're going to add some distressing to this. And I'm going to take like a dark gray. This one. This one's neutral gray. And we're just going to put a little bit of this in our egg carton. You don't need much at all. And then you're going to use a chip brush. This is a chip brush. So notice how it's like real scratchy. We're just going to dip that ever so slightly, which it's hard to do in these little egg cartons, in the paint. If you get too much, that's almost too much. Just kind of wipe it off, or you can take like a paper towel and just kind of dab it to get a little bit of that excess off. And then you're just going to take and start on one side and kind of brush on like this. And then you can kind of like lightly go across the middle if you want to drag it. And then if I want to go off the other side, I need to dip again because I've kind of run out of paint. Dabbing it on my paper towel. And now I'm going to start off this other side and drag toward the middle. And then just put a little bit through the middle. So you can go as light or as dark with this as you want. I kind of like this really light, not too heavy effect. So see how that shabbied it up just a little bit? Oh, you have to have an Amazon gift card. Oh, credit card. Gotcha. I don't have one of those. Christy's like, yeah, what's Amazon points? We need to know about this. Ooh, Hard Candy Christmas. I love me some Dolly Parton. One of the newer ones that I kind of like too, Reba McEntire and Blake Shelton did Oklahoma Christmas. I'm not even from Oklahoma, but they kind of do this like yodel sort of effect when they sing it, and it's so pretty. I really love it. Okay, what else should we do? Let's go ahead and do a coat of white on these little trees, and then while that's drying, we'll paint our lettering. If you're just now hopping on, this is a new product we put in the shop. It is a 3D Christmas tree design. So you get the whole door hanger, plus you get these 3 trees that you can paint and glue onto your door hanger.
Okay, Ingrid's never heard of a chip brush. Where can she find one?
So if you're shopping like at Walmart or Hobby Lobby or somewhere and you buy like a multi-pack of brushes, almost every time it will come with like one of these. You know, this is a 1-inch wide. Look how well used it is. But see how this is different from this. This is flexible. It springs right back up. It's soft and smooth. This is like, like it's like almost like broom bristles. You can also probably buy them in the painting section, not craft section, but like house paint. I bet you could buy one in there.
Have you painted gnomes?
Gnomes. I'm not a fan of gnomes. I do have a few gnome designs in our shop, and I may have painted at least one gnome design in the past, like in my YouTube channel, you might find one, but gnomes just aren't my favorite.
TikTok's asking for the Amazon code again.
Amazon code. Oh, it is HappyMail20, all caps. And that saves you 20% on those outline markers. And that code is only good for the next week. It'll expire in 7 days. So just be sure and use it before then. And it's only good on that one product, not on every product.
They're saying they look like little Debbie snack trees.
That's what they're supposed to be. We call them tree cakes, but they are supposed to be modeled after the classic Little Debbie snack cakes. We're going to paint them up just like that.
Okay, Karen is an engraver, and she wants to know how you keep the burnt from the engraving on the wood from smearing.
Okay, so after this is kind of a technical lasering question, so if you don't have a laser cutter, you can just ignore this part. But after you cut something like this out, take a baby wipe or something with rubbing alcohol on it and just give it a good wipe down, and any like residue from the charring of the laser will wipe right away. That's what I did before we even went live today. And that makes it to where when you're painting over it with white, you don't have like a little bit of black smudge or anything underneath, because it literally does kind of burn the wood and engrave in the wood. So you will have a little bit of charring. We have blanks available all year long. not just now. So yes, in November we will have blanks available for purchase also.
Connie says Harbor Freight has chip brushes by the box.
Oh,
very cheap.
We're about to get a Harbor Freight within the next year in our town. I'm excited about that. Okay, I dried it real quick, and I'm putting a second coat on these little trees so that they're nice and bright white. I'm not painting the edges because this is like a laser cut piece, and I do actually like the black edge on the laser cut, but if you don't like it, you could paint over it. It'll take 2 or 3 coats to get that black covered, but you can paint those edges if you want. I kind of like the black edge, especially when you're doing something 3D, because it's kind of like it provides a built-in shadow and really makes it look 3D. All right, we're going to set these to the side to dry, and then while that's drying, we're going to go ahead and paint our lettering that says, "Oh, Christmas Tree." So I'm going to get, what kind of brush should I get? Let's get this round tip brush. See how long those bristles are? That's going to hold plenty of black paint. And if you struggle with getting your paint to go on smooth when you're doing lettering, one piece of advice is to add just a teeny bit of water. It doesn't even have to be clean water. Dirty paint water to your black and swirl it in. That'll thin out your black paint just a little bit, and it'll go on way smoother when you do your lettering. And I'm not freehanding this lettering. If you remember, we painted over this lettering a few moments ago when we painted the background white. And so I'm literally just painting inside the lines right now. You don't have to have good hand lettering skills to be able to do this. And you just need to think of it like you're drawing the letter on instead of writing the letter. It still requires a little bit of concentration, so I always tend to get quiet when I'm hand lettering. But let me know if y'all have any questions. Okay, before I move on, I want to show you that you can see how you see this letter C right here. We're just painting inside those lines. So I might go that direction for that, but then I might flip it over and go this direction to do the rest of the letter C. You don't have to go the traditional direction that you would if you were using a pen or a marker or something like that. And then I might go this direction to meet back up.
Do you have a small holiday cutouts like trees for an interchangeable home circle?
Yes. So we have like a little Christmas tree. I think it's got a bow on top of it. We have 2 or 3 different kinds of little Christmas trees in there. And then we have like a snowman and stuff like that. We don't really have like just generic shapes because most of ours are like hand drawn and have some sort of like design element to them. But we do have like designs for every holiday.
Could the lettering be cut 3D with a laser?
Absolutely. So if you have a laser machine, you could cut this lettering out 3D. I just chose not to because of how scripty it is. And because I knew if I cut it out 3D, you guys would be like, so can we get the 3D lettering when we buy it on your website? And I'm afraid this 3D lettering would break in shipment to you guys.
What size are you painting?
This is a 16-inch size.
What type of paint do you use?
I use Decor Americana matte acrylic paint. Here come the kiddos. I don't know, the light's flashing. I'm not sure what that's about.
We need to watch, we want to watch the TV.
Well, I don't know where the moat is.
Can't find Mom, there's no remote.
I don't know. I would imagine it's probably up on the bookshelf, or it could be, oh, no, don't touch me. I'm lettering.
Okay.
Go help the girls, go help the girls find the TV remote. Go help the girls find the TV remote. Shut the door, please.
Hey, last one out shuts the door.
It's funny. Once one kid comes in here, then you've got the whole family coming in here.
And the visitors.
And the visitors, yeah.
What type of brush do you use for the lettering?
So right now I'm using a round tip brush size 0. See how it's got real nice, thin, long bristles. This kind of, this is great for doing like this script lettering. And so if it's easier for you, one thing you could do is do like this and kind of outline the letter first. And you could even do that with like a paint pen or something if that's easier. And then you could fill in the middle. But if you've got some experience with the amount of pressure that you use when you do a brush stroke and stuff like that, you can actually just paint right inside there as if you're making the letters.
Carrie says she's not seeing 16-inch in the store.
We don't have the 16-inch version in the store. We have a 12 and a 20. I would recommend if this is going on your door that you get the 20. The only reason I cut this out 16 inches today was because that was the size piece of wood that I had available. So, do the 20.
When will the paint list for this be done?
If you text the word list to the number that's up in the video description, we put together a paint color list every week for the project that we're doing. And so that will probably be done by, I would say, usually Friday. And so you can then go to the link that comes up when you text list. If you ever lose that link, all you got to do is text list again to that number and it will resend you that link. And you can just bookmark it. And each week when we do a new painting, we will have the updated list right there on that website and you can go back and get it.
What kind of sealer do you spray on the door hangers when you're finished?
Sealer, let's see. I use Rust-Oleum Lacquer, which is a clear spray, or I use Decor Triple Thick Gloss Spray. Not the brush on, but the spray. This brush holds quite a bit of paint in it, so I'm able to like do, you know, a pretty long stroke before I have to re-dip in the paint again, which is great. It kind of saves me a little bit of time. That's why I like this the brush that has the really long bristles. But you do have to know how to like control those bristles. So if you're struggling with that, you may have to go with one that has a little bit of shorter bristles until you kind of get the hang of it. Kids are home for fall break. You can hear all the kids in the other room. They're going camping in a few days. So they're all really wound up and excited about it. Okay, we got our lettering done. Let me show you. It says, oh, Christmas tree. And then we've got our little 3D trees we're fixing to finish up. We're gonna make these look like little snack treat cakes, and then we're gonna glue them right across here. There's 3 of them. So I'm gonna scoot this up and set it here. And these actually are still a little bit wet. I put the paint on them rather thick, so let's finish drying them. I'll make it look easy. I've been doing this a long time, Carrie. Let's see, I can't see the comments on TikTok. I guess because my desk is white and the comments are white. Yeah, fall break already. Our fall break is usually the first full week of October.
What's your YouTube channel from?
YouTube, just go in there and search Southern Adoornments Decor, or search Tamara Bennett and painting. There is a Tamara Bennett that's not me that's on there, but if you search Tamara Bennett painting, I'll come up. And you can subscribe to the channel, and that will make it where it's easier for you to find it next time.
Are you afraid you're going to mess up?
All right, y'all. I gotta turn this light off. I think I'm finally about at my breaking point.
There we go.
So, if the lighting suddenly got worse in here, I apologize. But it was flickering and driving me bananas. And when I was looking down at the door hanger, it wasn't so bad. But when I lifted my head up, I was like, ooh. Did you say something, Malia? You asked me a question.
I lost it.
She forgot what she was gonna say. Okay, I'm gonna get a brush with just a slightly different shape for this next part, maybe. Let's see, this is a filbert tip brush, and I'm gonna use this to do the red on these little trees. So you can see that they already have the design lasered on them, so we just have to paint the icing on. You could also use like 3D puff paint for this if you wanted to. This is a little wider than the nozzle on my puff paint, so that's why I'm not using it today. You might could even do your sprinkles with the puff paint. That would be fun. Aaliyah, will you look in the cabinet above you? And I think the puff paint is actually in one of those clear containers. Yep.
Yeah.
And I may use that for the sprinkles.
Do you sell your projects?
No, I don't sell the painted version. I do usually do like a fundraiser or a silent auction a couple times a year where we sell the painted ones.
What color are we looking for?
Probably the 2 greens, because there's like 2 shades of green. So I may use this one and this one. Thank you.
Submarine's diving.
I know, and that's somebody making that noise with their mouth. They're just going whoop. The kids are in rare form in there. I think they know they can get away with a lot while Mom's live. I think they've forgotten Mom can bring the wrath of Khan when the live is over. I accidentally got red on my hand and then smeared it on the tree cake. So if that ever happens to you, if you accidentally get paint in a spot you don't want it, baby wipes are great for that too.
Bonnie only has 2-day fall break.
Oh, ours is a full week, y'all. I would almost rather it just be like a 2 or 3 day where you get like an extra long weekend. And then give us a few extra days at Christmas, but I'm not on the school board. I don't get to choose. So these can, like if you have a shaky hand, that actually works really good for this icing because it looks like it's kind of wiggly and shaky. So works to your advantage. That's one of the complaints that I hear often is that people are like, oh, my hands are too shaky. I struggle to paint. It'll actually help you with this part. Travis, settle down. I'm gonna have to go in there and whoop some behinds. Is anybody else's kids acting amok today? Is there about to be a full moon? Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe the moon is changing. All right, so we've got our icing on each of our little trees. Doesn't even have to be that even. We're gonna go ahead and dry it. You have almost 3 full weeks out for Christmas. I wish that's the way it was here, because we usually like to go to Florida after Christmas for a family trip. And this year we go back to school January 3rd, so there's like no time after Christmas. I mean, that is about a week, but we wanted to fly. And the flights the day after Christmas are astronomical. So we usually like to wait a couple days and then fly out, but that doesn't really give you enough time. Somebody on TikTok said my son has been crazy today. Glad it's not just mine. They're acting like hoodlums in there. Like the house is shaking. They're running. Lauren says the full moon isn't that close. I don't know what it is then. I don't know.
Saturday. Next full moon is Saturday.
Next Saturday?
Cassie looked it up for us.
Thank you, Cassie.
Zeffy says your face is entirely too sweet for me to believe the wrath of Khan.
Okay, so maybe it's not the wrath of Khan, but I reserve that kind of motherly wrath for when it's really bad. Because if mom blows her top, then they're like, they never see me like that, hardly ever. So they know that they've pushed me too far if I get that bad. All right, I'm taking that same brush that we used for lettering, and I'm gonna go ahead and add some little details to these tree cakes. And we're just kind of adding like a little outline on each part of them, and part of that outline is already lasered on there, so you just kind of follow along with it to create that one side that looks 3D. Let me kind of show you. See how this side over here has 2 lines? That kind of makes it look like it's got a 3D side on it. And so you just kind of follow along with that, and I'm just dragging this little brush with very little paint on it along that line. You could also use a paint pen for this part. I just feel like a marker's almost faster. And it's a little, I mean, not a marker. A brush is almost faster, and I feel like it's a little bit of like a little bit more of an artistic look when it's done with a brush. Not that there's anything wrong with a paint pen. It's just sometimes I like the look of a brush. That one that you hear right now in the other room is my 16-year-old son. He's acting like he's 5. Okay, I messed that one up just a little bit, but that's okay. All right, I put the black outlines on first because I need that to dry, and then I'm gonna do puff paint sprinkles, so that'll be fun. So let me set these to the side for a moment, and I'm gonna bring this up here, and I'm actually gonna rotate it around because we're gonna do a stripe. There's a stripe, we're going right across the middle, and I'm just gonna pick a brush, and that's gonna be the width of my stripe. So this one's probably about 3/8 of an inch. I'm dipping it in water to kind of like smooth the bristles out. I got the excess water off of it, and I've picked up some black. I'm trying not to get my hands in the paint, and I'm literally just putting that brush, straddling it right over the center line, and I'm dragging it. Do you see how my arm and my wrist are all straight? And I leaned forward in my seat, and I'm just pulling my body backward. This is how you make a straight line on something. And you can stop, get more paint. Don't start right where you left off. Kind of back up a little bit and go over the area you just did and continue pulling forward. When it starts to kind of stutter and I don't have a good smooth paint line, that's when I go get more paint.
If I purchase the template and paint directly on the board, what color do you suggest for the background so they will show up?
So what will show up? The trees?
I guess.
I'm not sure I understand your question, but let me just, instead of trying to answer your question, let me explain how I would do this if I was using a template. So if you're using a template, trace this on your wood, cut out your circle, and then you don't even have to paint, you don't even have to trace your lettering or your trees on yet. You could literally just trace the circle on the wood and cut it out, then lay your template on top of, or no, hang on. Back up. Cut your circle out, just the circle, nothing else on it. Draw your line across the center. If you need to, use your template for that to create your line. Paint the top half red, the bottom half white. Do your buffalo plaid, then your distressing, then lay your, and dry it real good, then lay your template back on top of it and trace your lettering and your tree cakes. That way all of your details are on top of what you've already done in the background. Does that help? Yeah, so the tree cakes are etched on the blank too, and they will be on the one that you buy if you buy them in the shop, because that way, which actually, if you didn't want to do this 3D, you could go ahead and paint this and keep these as something else, like ornaments or something to match. You wouldn't even have to glue them on there. But you're going to trace these, or you're not going to trace these, you're going to glue these later right on top of the line so you know where the placement is, or where they go exactly. That way you don't have to guess. So that's where they're going to go. We'll glue them on later. We need to finish up the stripe that we did. So there's my stripe across the middle. I'm going to dry it, and then we're going to add just a little bit of a stitched looking detail to it. And I may actually do that with a paint pen.
Is the lettering etched on the blank too?
Yes, the lettering, whoops, the lettering will be etched on the wood blank too. Keep the trees for a garland. That's a good idea, Melissa. You might need 2 of these to have enough for a garland, because then you would have 6. Okay. I got my little Artistro paint pen. These are the medium. These are in my Amazon favorites too. They're the medium markers, medium tip. Comes with 12 of them. Let me kind of get it started here on a, there we go. And we're just going to start at the longest point, and we're going to do little sort of dashed lines going right across the middle. This is just a cute little piece of detail. If you don't like it, you could do polka dots or something else. I may have to go back over them with a little bit of paint. That lasered line is right there in the middle, and sometimes the paint pen gets caught in that, or doesn't get down in that good enough. So you may have to go over them like twice, depending on where your dashed line hits. But if you don't want to do dashed line, you could also do, like I said, polka dots or something different. Just something to kind of break it up a little bit, and it's just an extra added fun little detail. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside. We're gonna do our sprinkles, and then we're gonna glue it on, and we'll be done. Have you guys enjoyed this project so far? When will your 20-inch wood rounds be back in stock? They are in stock, right? Or, well, we have 18-inch. We don't have, we don't have 20-inch?
We don't have 20.
We have 18-inch in the shop. We don't have 20-inch. I don't think we ever had 20-inch. I don't know. All right, this is just puffy paint by Tulip. You can get it at Walmart or on Amazon. And I'm just making little sprinkles in random spots. If this scares you, just use a paint pen if you want, or a paintbrush. But I kind of like the 3D look of these little sprinkles.
Could you use a piece of fabric ribbon across from with the line?
Yeah, you could. If you have some that, I used to have some like that actually, I think from Hobby Lobby, that was that small. You like it? Good. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying watching. Okay, now I'm going in with the light green. Hang on. I didn't do what I'm supposed to do, which is test it on something first. And I had a feeling that if I squeezed it, it was going to go. So if you need to, squeeze it off on a piece of paper first and make sure that it's not going to make a blob. Or you can keep your baby wipe handy, and if you do have an awkward blob, you can just wipe it up. Don't be scared of the puff paint. It's fun. And you can even kind of have your sprinkles kind of going off the side. Let me show you what this looks like, because this is too stinking cute. Look, y'all. Love it.
Kenlita says she loves it, and in fact, she just printed hers out to cut.
Yay. Yeah, even if you're cutting these by hand, you can still do the 3D trees. You would just have to trace the trees on a separate piece of wood. They'll be a little more tedious to cut because they're so small. Or if you're using like a scroll saw, it might be even easier. This makes me want to put sprinkles on every door hanger. This is so cute. The little 3D sprinkles. I'm kind of like laying down a line and then going back over it to make it thicker.
What brand is your puff paint?
This puff paint is made by Tulip, I think. But it's linked in my Amazon favorites if you need it. I bought it, I think I bought this actually at Walmart, like in the sewing department or the craft department.
Donna says she thinks she's about to join the template club.
Yay, Donna, you'll love it. We just came out with a new bundle. The October bundle for Template Club had 20 different Christmas designs in it, and our Template Club members got all 20 designs for $35. And so if you wanted to get that, you can go to southernadornmentsdecor.com/template-club. If you can't remember that, just go to my website and click on Learn With Me at the top, and then click on it. But you can sign up and you can go ahead and get the October bundle right now for that price. And they're all Christmas designs. Look how cute. And this one is one of them. Actually, wait, this one may not be one of them. This one was in our last Friday release. And that was September 3rd. Is that right? What was last Friday's date?
October.
Oh.
No, September 30th.
September 30th. So this one was in last month's release, not the October one. All right, we've got all those on there. And that puff paint does take a while to dry, so I'm gonna have to be really careful gluing this onto our door hanger. And I'm using Stick Fast. It's like a super glue for wood pieces. Let me make sure I've got the right one for the right. Okay, we're gonna glue that one right there. And I'm just gonna put little dots of this where the tree is supposed to go. But it's kind of like super glue. You don't want to get this on you, and it dries crazy fast.
Barb wants to know, with your connections at Artistro, could you ask if they can make a pack of just black and white?
I think they have something like that actually. Have you looked on the Artistro website? It may not be available on Amazon. I just realized I forgot to put dark green sprinkles on this one.
Carrie's pointing that out.
Thank you, Carrie.
And Chris.
Karen loves the Template Club. All right, so we're just pushing down real good on this because that glue takes hold so quickly. And then I'm going to add my green sprinkles because I forgot the dark green sprinkles on this one. I don't know how, but somehow I missed them.
With everything that's going on here, you don't know how?
There is a lot of distractions going on up in here. This is so cute.
Joanne says she's only seen black packs from Artistro.
Okay. I feel like I've seen one that had black and white and had different sizes of black and white. But I don't know if that was on the Artistro website or Amazon. It might have been the Artistro website. I'm just trying to push down in the areas that don't have a sprinkle on them. Apply a little bit of pressure for a few seconds and then let up. It's kind of like gluing on my red aspen nails.
Is the pool ever going to be done by this afternoon?
I don't know, babe. Go out and ask the guys in the yard working on it.
I don't have to go outside.
And now is really not the time to come in and ask me questions. I'm live. I think he just needs an excuse to come in here and talk to me because he likes to be on video, even though he would never admit it.
Well, that's the only one we were missing.
Yeah, he's the only one who hasn't popped in here yet. Okay, I'm literally just lining it up with the laser lines that are already on the background. So I'm not having to figure out the placement for each of these. But the trees are a little bit different. Like this one is mirrored and that one. So just make sure you figure out which one goes where before you start gluing them down. Thank you, Carrie. Are you using Amazon super glue that you used at SA Live? Yes, it's the same thing. So this Stick Fast has kind of been out of stock, but there's an Amazon version of it that that we used at SA Live, I think. Whoops, I just got my hand in that green sprinkle. Let me touch it up a little bit. There we go. All right, y'all ready to see this? This stuff dries so fast. I can already pick it up and show you. Ooh, ah. I wish there was sound effects right now because you guys could be like cheering and oohing and awing. I love it. What do you think? If you want to paint this design, you can get the 3D version with the 3D trees in our shop right now. We've added the link for you guys. If you want to just get the flat version, you can, or you can get the template. Like I said, you can go back and watch this video at any time here on Facebook or on YouTube. We will have a supply list complete with the colors I used and everything available for you guys at the end of the week. To get that, text LIST to the number that's on the video description. It's 270-207-9091. So you can go and grab that.
Giveaway.
Oh, what giveaway?
Just remind people.
Oh, yes. I was like, what giveaway? We have these Artistro metallic outline markers we're giving away today. So if you have not done so yet, tell us your favorite Christmas carol in the comments. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central, we're going to draw a winner, and we'll announce it here on Facebook, and we'll ship those out to whoever wins. And if you didn't get to buy, if you don't win these, you can get them at 20% off on my Amazon by using code HAPPYMAIL20. That code expires next week, I believe. Somebody said you forgot dark sprinkles on one of them. I caught that. I did get it. All right, y'all. I hope you enjoyed it. I really love it. I'm proud of how it turned out, and I hope you have luck with yours. See you next time.